by a number of people to help with their personal brand. And as I'm working at a podcast production studio called Flash Media Studios, we're helping multiple entrepreneurs who have created successful results offline translate that success online and, create a brand online. And as somebody who is a huge believer in authenticity and real raw content. I have had a good 4 year training ground of finding the balance between building a personal brand that really showcases who you are at your core, but doesn't expose everything about you and maintains a sense of privacy and protects who you are as well. So, what I'm going to share with you guys today is just like the overarching vision for Follow the Motion, and I'm inviting you into it. It is a free broadcast that I have on Instagram. So I'll be sharing like tips, tools, things that are working. I thought in the broadcast people could engage as well, but I guess not. So one of my call to actions to this is if you're interested in being in a group Instagram chat where you can actually engage, please DM me because I am going to be creating that so that we can send our posts because I'm in a couple of these groups and they're great. It's a collective of people. When you post, you send your post to the group and then the group it's like custom to go comment, like, share, engage, really help boost that person's algorithm because social media is not just about showing up, it's not just about showing up, it's showing up with strategy. And part of the strategy is hacking the algorithm. So that's one of the things. If your post does not get engagement in the first few minutes, let alone seconds, the app's gonna just be like, we don't, this isn't that good. We're gonna send this to the trash. And it just kind of sits there. So those groups are great. Let me know if you want to be in that, DM me. But I created Follow the Motion because as I'm helping multiple brands, I have to be mindful of my capacity. And I thought of doing a paid membership. And I was like, I don't feel like dealing with how to sell you on the value. I just want to give as much value because right now, more than, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Okay, my live just ended. I don't know why. Try this again. Okay, so this is Follow the Motion. I have tried 3 times and it keeps cutting me off, so I know it's about to be money. This always happens. Resistance is right there when you are in motion and you are setting out for a next level, a goal, you're going after something, you're going to hit resistance, and it is a test to see if you are going to overcome the obstacle. There's always a solution, there's always an answer to the problem, and it's a matter of are you going to reinvent and pivot and, you know, keep going. So here we are. We're going to get this out. I'm so excited about this. I am Crystal David. I have been creating on social media since 2012. I have made multiple six figures online. I have secured some pretty cool brand partnership deals over the years, and I have taken the last 4 years off of, excuse me, monetizing my social media. So I have attempted little things here and there, but for the most part, my social media has not have had any rhyme or reason. I have just simply posted to just kind of keep my account alive. And now I am rebuilding not only my personal brand, but I'm also building multiple other brands that are some mine and some other people's that I'm working with. And I created Follow the Motion so that you can follow along. So follow the motion. But also, I believe that when we are building a business, you get to follow the motion, follow the flow, follow alignment. And that is where the secret sauce is because the algorithms change, the apps and platforms change, even your vision and your mission changes. What I'm wanting to give to the world today is completely different than what I was giving 4 years ago. And there's a through line, but there's a pivot necessary. So sometimes people get so stuck in one thing and they don't know how to pivot. So that's also something that follow the motion represents. It's like, if you gotta go, you gotta flow. So today, what I'm going to do is kind of give you the overarching vision of Follow the Motion. I'm inviting you in. It's a free broadcast that I'm doing. It's in my bio, so you can just join in there. And then what I'll be doing is sending tips, tools, things that are working for me, things that are inspiring me. And then one of the call to action I'll put at the beginning of this is DM me if you are someone who wants to stay close to me while I'm building and while you're building, because I don't have the capacity to take on, I was gonna do a actual like a group membership. I don't have the capacity to sell that, maintain it, make sure that I'm adding value. So follow the motion for me was a way to just give as much value because first of all, you guys can chat GPT how to build a brand. You can Google that. You can figure it out without paying anything. So that's number one. I believe I have some type of secret sauce and I'm still identifying that. I think I'm pretty clear on what it is. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I'm still identifying that. But my point is that I am in a season that while I build my personal brand and I work with the clients that I already have, I'm already at capacity. So everybody else that I'm working with, I just want to give you guys as much value as I can. I want you to apply and whatever you're applying that's working, I want you to just give me feedback. So I would love for you to stay close to me. DM me if you have my number, text me, like really get in relationship with me. That's my goal. I'm less interested in growing thousands and thousands of followers, although that is a goal of mine as well. And I'm more interested in taking the 15 some thousand that I have and probably the 100 to 1,000 that are actually engaged in my brand and really working with you guys, really moving the needle in our lives, really getting our brands off the ground, really monetizing. There's a huge wealth transfer that's happening right now. There's huge opportunity online between everything that's going on with AI, with the systems that are crumbling. There's opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. So my goal is that we're focused on the growth and not the crumbling. So all of that to say, DM me and then let's talk because I want to see if you're also interested in joining a separate chat because I thought the broadcast you would be able to engage in, but you're not. I'm only able to broadcast to you. But I'm going to make a chat. I'm in a couple of these. They work really well for people building their pages where when you post, you DM your post to this group and then everyone who's in the group, your rites of passage to be in the group is that you go, you like, you share, you engage, you save, you do all the things that hack the algorithm so that we can intentionally build. Because the truth is that um, not everyone's seeing your post. Excuse me. And if you can be strategic in getting your stuff out there, it may feel a little icky and inauthentic, but it's actually authentic to be committed to your growth. It's authentic to ask for help. So everyone who's in this group are going to be like-minded, powerful. My wrist is tweaking right now. Like-minded, powerful individuals who we all are on one mission, which is to get our message out there, get our story out there, grow our brand, expand our reach. And I know I'm connected to some really dope people. So again, I'm not really even interested as much as I'm ready to find new people. I want to find the people in my existing audience and make sure that I'm serving you guys really, really well. So that's my call to action. I'm going to do it up front. So as we jump in, what I'm going to go over is my motion method. If you know me, you know my work, you know I love a good acronym, you know I love a good, formula. So play is forever going to be at the heartbeat of my body of work, and that's going to come out in some other projects and some other things that I'm working on behind the scenes. But as far as follow the motion goes, this is something that came to me. If you know me, you know that I will wake up with a vision and the next day I will launch it. And then 3 days later, it might be disappeared, or 3 months later, 3 years later, it might still be standing. I don't know. So I'm the queen of pivot. I probably pivot to a default, and that's where I get to pull in the pendulum and find balance of follow through and finishing. But the benefit of my willingness to just jump off a cliff and start is that I'm a quick starter, and that's something that I know that I'm going to be able to help you guys with. That being said, follow the motion is something that came to me as an answer to the many people who have been responding to my posts about personal branding. I am working with a company, it's Flash Media Studios. We're in Orange County. We are helping brands, especially established entrepreneurs who have built businesses, they're making money, they're making impact in real life, and they're ready to transition that authority online. They're ready to grow their presence online. So it's been a really cool thing because I know how to build online. I love that I'm doing that with people who are doing real results in real life. There's a lot of people online who have hacked the algorithms, just like I said, sending posts to groups like that, paying for followers, buying likes, buying the blue check, doing all these things to look away, aesthetic, on point. They know how to work Canva and all these different apps like chef's kiss, but offline they're not incongruent, they're not in integrity, they're not in alignment in real life. So I'm only interested in working with people who either have built real life results and now you're ready to transition that online and you just don't know where to start, you don't know how to hack the algorithms, or people who haven't started in real life, but you've got a real story, a real transformation that you offer people, and you may be hesitant, you may be like having imposter syndrome, you may be saying, why me? Even me, guys, I'm doing this. And as soon as I committed to going all in on helping people with their brands, of course, my algorithm is all brand companies. So now I'm sizing myself up to all these other companies and I'm like, I don't even need to do this. Forget about it. Let's let them do it. They've got the following, they've got the aesthetic, they've got the consistency. They're already doing it. I don't need to do this. But I had to override and practice what I preach. There is room for all of us. If it was put on your heart and you have the vision, there's people waiting for you to stand up and do it. Not everyone can do what I do. I can't do what the next person does. There is a specific group of people waiting for your story, your transformation, your delivery. Some people can't handle how I talk in loops and I'm all over the map. I'm all over the place. Some people cannot handle me, but they will go to the next person and they will feel right at home. And there's some people who feel right at home in my presence, and those are my people. So I implore you, everything I'm putting in follow the motion is literally you watching me in real time. Let's take my background. I decided I was going to use this as teaching. I do not like this background. I do not like this aesthetic. I would love to have my hair done, my nails done, my face done, but that is not going to stop me, right? So my follow the motion essence at the core of it is authenticity. It is get in motion, start moving, and watch yourself progress. People love the process. They love to come on the journey with you. If you show up when you're perfect, you're too late. There's people that you can help right now. And really, in order to add value to someone else's life, you just have to be a couple of steps ahead of them, and you can be in the same step as them. There's people I'm working with, building brands with them, that in life we're in the same step. I have this circle of life theory where there's always got to be people that you're reaching up to and you're looking up at like, oh my gosh, that's goals, that's goals. We need that. We need that carrot. And then there's those people that are behind you looking up at you as the carrot. How about that? How about you're an inspiration to somebody even though you're looking this way? So there's somebody looking to you to stand up, and then you're looking to someone pulling up, and it's this I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you're following. I believe you are. And then there's the Me Too crew. There's the people who are right there with you. These are the people that are awesome to build with. And these are actually the people I'm inviting to come into my collective. I don't want Follow the Motion to be like I'm the expert. I want it to be more like a round table of, hey, we're all building brands. We all have mastered something. Some of you guys are great at editing. Some of you guys are great at ideation, ideas. Some of you are great at execution, follow through, consistency. Some of you are are struggling with all of it, and you just need to be in the room. You just need to be at the table. So I look at this collective as we're all going to be trying things out. We're all going to be committed to like showing up even when we don't feel like it, showing up even when we don't look the part, showing up even if our aesthetic is not where we want it to be. You should have seen me editing just the thumbnail to this live. I'm like, I don't know what my brand colors are. I don't know what font I want to use. I love playful fonts and colors. I like dark, deep, feminine, like tantra looking stuff. I like bright, vibrant colors. I'm all over the map, but I did not let that stop me because the truth is eventually I will get there. I will find a font that really speaks to me. But right now I'm trying them all out. Who cares? Because guess what? The post that has mismatching fonts is 2 to 4 to 5 to 7 posts more than 0 posts. How about that? How about nowadays we live in a time where people are over the overproduced, over perfect content and they want to see the real, the raw. So you don't even need a heading post if you don't want it. So I'm just testing it out. I'm testing out, do people click more on my post when it's just a picture of me like, and I'm about to start talking, or do they like a thumbnail, right? So all right, so let's just jump into it. I think I covered the call to action is to join the broadcast and then DM me directly if you're interested in staying really close with me while you build your brand because I want to work with people to actually see you grow and get your results because as you're getting your results, then I'm going to be getting testimonies and I'm working with people one-on-one and then I'm working in the collective and I don't have capacity to work with everybody one-on-one. So for all of you guys that are not in the one-on-one part of my world, this will be where you can just apply and everyone can be helping each other. So I'm going to just break down the acronym of motion. Zay, I cannot wait. So I'm gonna do a whole special content story on you. So I'm gonna just not tangent, but what I will say about Zay, so he's in the chat, he said he signed up. Um, Zay is in sport, going from basketball to music, and we're working on his transition and his entry into the marketplace. And right before you got on, Zay, I was talking about how most artists who come to the online space, no matter how dope you are, because we are really dope people, you have some level of imposter syndrome. So I don't know, we haven't talked about that yet, but I had even imposter syndrome because I'm like, well, I'm working in personal branding around people who are building online brands. I haven't worked with music, but I love music. And one of my dreams, guys, is to be a DJ. Like in time, I'm gonna go and do all the like the training to become a DJ. So in being my first person I'm helping build their brand in the music space, I was having my own little imposter syndrome. But then when I sat with the framework of building a brand, it's all a framework, guys. So whatever your brand is, it doesn't matter what lane you're in. There is a formula and it starts at the core of just being authentic, being yourself. That's one of the reasons why I'm so excited to work with Zay because he is a rebel to society. He is a pillar. He's standing against the tide, right? And we need leaders today to stand against the tide. Those are the people that I'm attracting. I don't want people who want to fold in the status quo. I want people who are challenging the status quo. In order to have a successful brand online, you have to have an enemy. You have to have an like a polarity. Like you have to have something you're standing for and something you're standing against. If you're wanting to speak to everyone, and I'm guilty of this, prior to the 4 years that I just took off, I was the good girl, the people pleaser. I want to be politically correct because I have a husband and I have kids and I don't want the moms at school and soccer to not like me. Then I went through, I got to be politically correct because I want to find another husband and I don't want him to think I'm too much and loose at the lips and a wild child. Now I'm like, why would I ever want to attract a client, a friend, a parent who's going to be around my kids, or a partner who is not aligned to my viewpoints? Period. Stop people pleasing. Stop trying to speak to everybody. Stop trying to hide pieces of yourself to fit in. If you are not loud enough that you're pissing people off, and there's people that hate your message and they hate what you stand for just as much as they love you, your brand is not strong enough. Your stand is not loud enough. And yes, you will impact some people, but I'm looking to work with the revolutionaries. I'm looking to work with the people that are ready to rebuild this earth the way that it's supposed to be built. I'm looking for people who have a global message, people who have a message that is going to be medicine to the world right now as we need it the most. And I do believe that we're being called for that, and I believe that I'm called to serve in that. So, okay, let me break down. Oh, yay, this is good. Okay, I'm so happy. So, I'm gonna break down motion and because like I said, if you know my body of work, I can't remember if I already said this or if this was before the live ended, but if you know me, you know I love a algorithm. So I mean, not an algorithm. I love a acronym and words. Okay, so my body of work, my thesis that I did when I did my leadership was play. I believe that we have to play for a living. So I'm not going to teach on that today, but I do want to just plant that seed that I believe at the core of building money in the new earth is going to be by following the motion, following alignment, following your passion, your purpose, your pleasure, following power, not the greed, manipulation, and control of the old patriarchal system that's falling, but power of alignment, power of knowing where your source is, knowing where that your creativity is your secret sauce, knowing that you have to collaborate with people, you have to connect in real life, you actually have to create, you have to be creative, you can't just be cookie cutter and copy things. Yes, you can do that online and you can do AI and you can do all these things, but I believe that the fiber that's going to sustain is the power of play. So the L in play is leadership. You've got to master your leadership, your mindset. You've got like if in order to withstand the warfare that we're in right now, you have to have mindset. You have to manage your mind. You have to master your leadership. You have to love. So just, I'm a lover girl. I believe that most people get derailed and distracted by love and relationships. And so if you don't love yourself, you don't heal yourself, you don't work on yourself, you are going to be chasing love, you're going to be chasing validation, you're going to even build a brand. I'm guilty of this. I'm still working on this. I'm not gonna lie. And for any athletes, I don't know if Zay, if you're still there, but athletes can connect to this more than anybody, I would say when you're chasing to that next level, an athlete taught me this, that you guys will like connect to a chip on your shoulder of like someone who told you you can't make it, someone who didn't believe in you. When you got counted out at some point in your career, you're going to go after that next level based on that chip, okay? I think there's a healthy level that I'm going after a few people who didn't believe in me, people who I asked for support, people who whatever it is. So there's a lay everything has a balance, right? So there's a healthy layer of like you need that chip on your shoulder to get after the next level, right? But if you're just building a brand to say, look at me, I finally made it. Now you can love me. Now you can accept me. I want you to build the brand so that, yes, they have to see you, but you're using them as your footstool. You're preparing the feast where they have to watch you eat, right? But you're not doing it to come back and be like, are you ready for me now? Are you ready to choose me now? No, you don't even have time for these people that are motivating you, right? So you got to find the balance. My point is if you don't love yourself and you don't accept yourself, it's going to tarnish your brand. So that's the L. The A in play is you have to be in alignment. You have to have self-awareness and you have to be authentic. Period. I'm not going to break all these down. And the Y is youthfulness. It is, I believe, what makes me so magnetic and powerful is that I'm a big kid. I am never going to grow up. I'm never going to follow your rules of like, this is your age, this is what you should, this is what you shouldn't do, this is your title, da, 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 da. You're a mom, you're a wife, you're a this, you're a that. Nope. So youthfulness, whether you believe in Bible, it's scripture, you have to become childlike to get to the kingdom. To me, that means if you think of a child, whether you have kids or not, think of children. When they fall down, they get back up 100 times. When they get told no, they do not take no for an answer. When they go outside, they don't care what they look like. They're gonna go outside and play hair crazy, outfits crazy, whatever. They're gonna go play. They're gonna have a good time. They're not worried about other people's thoughts. They just show up. They don't have a concept of time. They just live their life. They're gonna be outside all day if they can. Like kids are resilient, they are aware, they are in tune. They have not been, now, of course, younger and younger kids are getting bogged down by this system, but essentially, at the essence of a child, they're pure, they're authentic, and they're resilient. That's how you must be to build a brand. So that's my play body work. Again, that's always at the heart. But motion is the new acronym that I created for my branding world, because I was really, what I do is I go dig into all my years of experience, and when people ask me for help on the same thing, then now I have to create a formula, because I'm like, how do we organize this so that we can leverage and we can really grow effectively? So I've been studying this for a while. Since I've started working at the media studios, and I thought on my personal brand I was gonna stay in the love lane, but I have a whole nother page for that. But here I'm like, no, I'm gonna go in on branding, because I believe I'm a GOAT. Like, I feel like I'm in my Kanye era, or Alex Wolf, she's one of my favorite creators. I believe I'm in my Kanye Wolf era, where I know what I know what I know. I believe what I believe what I believe, and I'm about to get after it, and I'm about to help a lot of people grow powerful brands, and I'm really excited about it. So motion, the M. And I am going to use my notes because I'm already 50 minutes in and I haven't even started. So I'm just gonna plant this here. I'm not gonna go deep into a training, but I just want to give you the letters of what it stands for. You can take your notes. If you have to go, you can come back and fast forward and watch this over. But essentially, every month I am committing to doing a live like this once a month at least. I may do more because I used to go live every day, believe it or not. So it just depends, but for sure, every third Tuesday of the month, you can mark your calendar, set a recurring alarm, 10 a.m. Pacific. I will be doing a training every single month for 12 months straight. One of the things that I have struggled with as a brand builder is follow through and completion, because I have squirrel syndrome and I pivot really quickly and I do a lot of things. And so it's hard for me to show up in one area online, because I'm all over the place with what I'm doing offline. And that's an interesting thing. It's a good problem to have, because I'm actually creating real motion in real life. So online, my brand is just all over the place. So this year, I'm committed to building my Crystal David brand as a creator who is building a personal brand in real time. So if you're watching my page, you're watching me build my personal brand in real time, while I give you what I'm doing to do that, and then I hope you go apply it. So the M in motion is your mission, right? So I again, you can build a business. Yes, Jalen, you know we're here. We're locked in. We're gonna get this. This is our year, baby. Lena, hi, Lena, another powerful creator who has been a huge part of my brands over the years. So, okay, so the M in motion is your mission. You can create a business without a mission. There's people who do it all the time, in the sense of they're not clear on their mission, but every business has some type of reason for starting. There's a reason for it. So I want you to really get into, why am I doing this, right? Why am I wanting to do this? Because in order to overcome the problem that Jalen and I are agreeing on, follow through, if you are not like willing to die on the hill of that mission, and you're not so passionate about it, you're gonna probably fall off. You're definitely gonna fall off when you don't feel like it, but you're gonna probably get bored with it, or you're gonna just, I don't feel like selling it today. And in order to really, because I'm all about monetization, that's where my strategy comes in. It's like, people come to me for content. I'm like, slow your roll, because the content doesn't matter if you don't have a system and a strategy and a funnel that content is leading to. That's the monetization. That's the impact, right? So on the impact side, you're going to have to sell your solution over and over. You're going to have to believe your problem needs to be solved over and over and over. So sometimes people get stuck on just the product or service that they're selling and they miss the mission and the impact, which is the anchor. This is why you're going to make that music. This is why you're going to do that makeup brand. This is why you're going to launch that product or service because you know that it's connected to a deeper rooted mission. My mission is to revolutionize the happily ever after. I believe that we were sold a lie. We were fed fairy tales through music, through movies, through all that. So I am on a mission to enter the edutainment space where I am helping creators. If you work with me, this is something I will implore you to do. Um, get into edutainment, meaning you're going to educate through your entertainment. So for Zay, through his music, he's going to educate. For Jalen, through her makeup artistry, she's educating. Through whatever you do, your content, I believe, should educate, entertain, and empower people. If you don't agree with that, that's fine. It just may not be the philosopher to work with, but that's my philosophy. So I am on a mission to use social platforms as education because I believe that our education system has failed us. I believe that there's great movies and then there's tons of propaganda movies through the Hollywood circuit that has programmed our minds to be sold a false dream and a false reality. And many of us have eaten that. We're a product of that. And now we're suffering because of it. And now we're in an era where people have woken up to that suffering and they're ready for the new way of doing things. So when something crumbles, there's an opportunity to replace it. And I believe that I'm a part of the replacement of the education. So all of the creators that have a mission to educate, you're my people. And yes, so Tahira, yes. So one of the things that I've been working on, it's what I'm doing at the podcast studio that I work and it's what I'm doing with the film people that I'm working with is you got to partner with the people who have that. See, some people have that, like with Zay, he's someone that I'm diving into his brand. I don't know everything about his brand yet and about his message and his mission, but I for sure, if he allows me, am going to infuse what I know about the system and because I know he has a desire to use his music as a disruptor to the system. I know so much education on the system of the programming and all that. So I'll be able to help him position his music brand in the marketplace to be an education source. And I have ways that I want to help him do that. One of the ways can be, this is just a tangent, but it's an example because I want to give you guys real value. I don't want to just talk at you. So one of the ways that I have an idea for him, but it's for many brands, is creating faceless pages. So we can funnel faceless content so that we can get our thoughts and our education out in an entertaining way, but it's not connected to you as the personal brand because you may not want to dance on TikTok. You may not want to act out skits online, but maybe there's someone you can partner with who you can infuse your yeah, I'm gonna call you when I get off. So let me wrap this. Let me wrap this because I wanted to be about an hour, which even though um about 25, 30 minutes of my thing got cut off earlier. But yes, I'm gonna call you as soon as we're done with this. But so there's so many ways to infuse your intellectual property, your IP into the internet without it just being connected to your face. I'm doing it. I laugh at it's like people will follow stuff that I put out and won't even know that it's me. That makes me so excited. It's like, ha 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 ha, I gotcha. Okay, so you got to have your mission. I'm not going to break all this down. This is what we're going to be going over time. I am putting out a brand Bible that I'm going to be distributing, so this will all be in there. But that's something that's on the to-do list. Let's see when it gets done, right? You're in motion with me. So, okay, so your mission is what problem do you solve? Who do you solve it for? How do you solve that problem? All right. Um, the O is your offer. What are you offering people, right? So this is cool. I love that we're using Zay with the music space because when you think music, you're not thinking necessarily what like maybe Tahira and I would be thinking as coaches and as people who have created educational type content. that's a creative world to combine, right? Because if you think of some of the dopest artists, some of my favorite artists, I don't even know that I can name favorite artists, but I'm gonna just go with Kendrick, okay? Kendrick did some dope things recently and over time in his music, but let's ask why. Because he disrupted a narrative. He educated through his music, right? So it's I love that some people don't feel like they have the creativity and some people don't feel like they have the structure to bring it all to life, but that's why we are not supposed to do this alone. Where two or more are gathered, that's when everything can activate. So your offer is, what are you selling? What transformation are you offering? What is at the core essence? That's the part that I had fun digging into Zay's brand when I was working on my proposal for him. It was like I was like being able to dig up all the transformational points of where he could like really build off of his music. So ask yourself, in your brand, with your product, with your service, what is the transformation that you are creating? The transformation I'm creating as I revolutionize the happily ever after is I'm awakening people to the realization that you do not have to follow the system. You do not have to live in a box. I'm the epitome of, I did the American dream. I was a good girl. I got married young. I popped out babies young. I gave this man 5 babies. I sat in my mansion looking pretty. I stayed kept up, honey, so that I didn't get cheated on. And then now look, we're here, right? 4 years single, raising my babies, doing it a different way. I see people chasing, and then I see people not settled into their life. And I am here to tell you, just live, just wake up and live. If you get in alignment and you are loving yourself and you're giving your gifts to the world, everything else is going to work itself out. So, the transformation is for me is I'm helping people transition into a peaceful state of living. Stop chasing the bag, stop chasing the man, stop chasing the status, stop chasing the validation, stop running after anything. Just live in the flow. And that's follow the motion. When you learn to, people look at me, how do you not need coffee? How are you so calm in the midst of everything? How are you this? How are you that? How? It is flow. I follow the flow. I wake up and I live by my rules. I follow the flow. So we're gonna dive into that. Okay. The T of motion is your traffic, your audience. If you don't have an audience, you don't have a business, right? So for those of you like Zay, I'm just using him as the prototype for this live. He has built an audience from his basketball career. He's done amazing things. He's got fans, he's got followers. So he's in a great positioning to put out something else. His art, his music is now an extension of him that his audience hasn't experienced yet. You may be someone who has never shown up online, so you don't have an audience online, or you have a huge audience in real life. You know a ton of people, but they're not your audience for what you're selling. They're moms, friends, dads, family, people that you work with, whatever, but they're not people that are going to buy whatever your product or service is. So wherever you fall on the spectrum, maybe you're somewhere in between, your audience is the people who are your who you would do for one, what you want to do for many. Meaning, you want to look at your audience as like the beehive for Beyonce, or the I don't know another example, but just like the raving fans that are sold out for your art, for your story. And they say it only takes 1,000 people to really have a successful business. Don't think masses, don't think blue check, hundreds of thousands of followers. You'll get there if you're meant to get there, but you can have, I know people who are making in the millions, multiple 7 figures, who have 800 followers on Instagram. Yes. That's your stand, and that's why I love that we like orbited each other so that we can help each other bring this art to the forefront, because it's needed. All of us are needed. If you're still listening to this, you're needed. So um wherever you stand on the spectrum, you have to have an audience to have a business. You have to like you can like this is why when people come to me for content, I'm like, we can make beautiful content every day. But if it's falling on deaf ears, if there's no audience, then it's just, social media, your post is lucky to live a couple hours, let alone if 24 hours, right? So you have to have a strategy to leverage and find your people, sharing, overcoming the algorithm, all this stuff. So you want to have a strategy and a system in place too. You don't want to just start dropping content. Although, like I said earlier, you could drop it and then you can catch up to the algorithm. So don't let that stop you. Do both, but just know that like today, for example, when I logged on and there was only one person on my live, I'm like, cool, I'm gonna talk to the one person. The old me would have been like, I'm not gonna do this. No one's listening, no one cares. I suck. I'm not doing this. But it's like I know I don't suck. So okay, my brain just went to the gutter. Um, Traffic, okay, that's the T. So, all things traffic, how to get your audience, all the stuff, key player, and yes, yes, yes. Wait, hold on, let me screenshot this. This is making me so, hold on. Let me fix my wig. Okay, this is making me so happy. All right. Okay, so we're on the I. So the I of motion is your influence, right? So this is where a lot of people building a personal brand don't feel like they can do it because they don't feel like they have influence. I have a ton of influence and I still don't even see myself sometimes. And that's why being in community and being surrounded by people who believe in you is so incredibly important because it's almost like human nature to not see yourself the way that other people see you. And that's why I keep affirming I'm in my Kanye era. I'm in my Kanye era. I'm in a place where I refuse to speak little to myself because I'm not a little person. I have been affirmed by everybody under the sun. I have attracted some of the most top tier, successful, big name, household name people. Every room I step in, I magnify top tier people. That's a reflection of me. I am in demand by top tier people. So when I finally got it, I was like, okay, stop not believing in yourself. We're taught, especially, I'm gonna just say it, pretty privileged. I grew up a pretty girl. And so part of that comes with don't be too much. Don't be too much. Don't be too much. And I'm already a lot. I'm already a lot. I talk a lot. I have a lot of opinions. I am a lot. I'm a big energy. I'm a Leo. I'm big energy. So I've always been like, I'm just gonna fall back here. And it's worked in my favor because I can blend. But where it doesn't work is when you're not believing yourself. So back to the I, the influence, your influence, you may not even see it. I love seeing other people and feeding life into their influence because I know what it feels like to not see it for yourself. But here's what I'll say about it. You have an influence with somebody. There's somebody waiting for you, for your story, for your product, your service. If you got the idea, if you got the vision, if it fell in your heart, there's a reason for that, and there's a person waiting for that to happen. So your influence is it really matters. And then your proximity of like who are you in relationship with? That's a big part. That's one of my favorite parts of digging into brands is who do you know? Who have you collected over the years? I believe we all met each other for a divine reason. Something you can learn from them, something you learn to do, what not to do, a connection. There's a reason. So digging into who you know is a huge part of your influence. Okay, the O in motion is your offline impact. I do not want to work with people who only are showing up online. If you're only here for the gram and then or whatever app you're building on and then you in real life, and I'm guilty of this. The last 4 years of my life, I have not been building anything. And when people see me, I'm that girl that's hiding in the grocery store. I don't want to talk. I don't want to meet any parents at school. I don't want to sit by anybody at soccer. I don't want to talk. But that's because I've been in my little cocoon. But I'm coming out of that and I'm realizing how can I be preaching community, community, community? We need community, but then I'm not activating the community around me. So do not underestimate what you can do in your backyard back where you went to high school, middle school, elementary school, daycare, um, sports, any organization you've been a part of, church, um, whatever organization you've been a part of over the years, start making a list of who you know, what you're connected to, because your hometown will show you love a lot. Sometimes they won't. Like Jesus couldn't do miracles in his hometown. So don't be discouraged if they don't support you. But oftentimes you can go back to places you've been and you can build offline influence that's going to help you online. It's all going to convert and it's going to go back and forth. So that's very important. Just making sure that in real life you're doing what you're promoting online. And then the N of motion is your narrative, your story. It is the heartbeat of your brand. And that's one of my favorite parts to help people bring to life. I'm able to hear people's story and then my brain is like, and the money is just, that's why my production company is called Make It Rain. I remember my business manager was like, it sounds like a stripper name. And I was like, I love it because I just want money to fall. Money is our birthright. We cannot change the world without money. We cannot. So money is service. Money is a reflection of the number of people you've impacted. Money is what makes this world go round, so you can be in the world and not of it. You don't have to love, I love money, but because the scripture that has us all messed up is the love of money is the root of all evil. Yes, if you're chasing money just to have money, just to buy so you can get the girl, get the car, get the man, get the this, get the that, like, then you're out of sorts, right? But if your money is truly tied to lives you're going to change, and the universe, God, whatever you call your creator, they that you can be trusted with that power and authority, you're going to pass go in this next chapter of the revolution. If you're with the old programming, you're going to be exposed because the snakes have been exposed, and now it's the year of the redemption. It's the year of the light. It's the year of the leaders. It's the year of the truth. It's the year of the real deal going forward, leading the charge. So um your narrative, your story, your testimony. There's an exercise that I like to take people through where I have you just write out life. Tell me if you can still hear me because I just got an interruption. Oh, it's 11:11. I'm gonna wrap this right here. That was the end emotion, but just give me like a yes, a heart, a something if you can hear me, just so I'm not talking and it's blank, and then I'll wrap us up and close this out. Anybody? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, I see hearts. Okay, so let me wrap this up. So that's the motion, the mission, your mission, your offer, your traffic, your influence, your offline impact, and your narrative, your story. And if you join late, go back, watch this. But my call to action to you is inviting you to my broadcast. It's called Follow the Motion. It's my contribution while I'm building my brand and I'm building multiple other brands that I'm working with. I'm putting to test how I believe brands get to be built, and I'm learning with other people who have done it really well. I'm not the only, I'm not a guru, I'm not an expert. I am an authority in this space and I do have a lot of experience and knowledge to offer. And so this is my way of taking the pressure off. I'm not like, if you're taking up my time and I'm working with you one-on-one, yes, people are paying to work with me. But if you're in the broadcast, I'm just going to be sharing tips, tools, things, and then I'm doing a live at least once a month, every third Tuesday of the month at 10 a.m. Pacific, where I'll do a training and I'll be giving you updates of what I've been finding is working. I'm not going to rush myself. I'm not going to give myself a time link. I'm just going to talk, teach, and share what has helped for that last month. And it's going to be my way of just documenting the progress over the next 12 months. You heard it here. I am committed to showing up, building my brand, the brands that I'm working with, which are some really cool brands. And then for the rest of the people, excuse me, sharing what's working, what's not working, and us giving each other feedback. So if you want to join the broadcast, it's in my bio. DM me directly if you want more support on this, because I am going to be doing a separate group DM chat so we can share our posts, so we can be supporting each other's brands as we build. And then, of course, if you want to book a call with me to like go further and actually work with me, you can do that as well. I actually need to put my booking link back in my bio, but for now, just DM me. Um, I wasn't checking my calendar and people were booking on there, and I was like, oh, I didn't see that. So I'd rather you just DM me directly. I'm really at the grassroots right now. I'm not working on a mass scale. I'm working with real people one on one. So I'll DM you back and then we'll get on each other's calendar. That's it. That's all I have for you. Thank you all for engaging, for showing up, for filling my cup by allowing me to fill yours, and just just do it. Just get started. Do it messy. Do you see me like I'm doing it? I'm not in the aesthetic that I desire to be, but I'm showing up. And it's because I know that what truly matters is the heartbeat. It's the heartbeat. So get your art out there. Like Erica Badu said, she's sensitive about her shit, right? You're gonna be sensitive about your art. So don't be alarmed that it's hard to get out there and put yourself out there. You are the biggest masterpiece of your life. So I know how hard it is to show up and be a personal brand, but I'll close with what I started with. Personal brand doesn't mean you have to put all of you online. There's so much of me that y'all don't know. There's so much of me you guys don't know, but there's so much that I have to give as well. So let's help you find what that is and let's get after it. Bye. Oh, good thing I was recording here because this did not save. Hmm. Wow.